way maxed out. And you know what? Let's upgrade the damage just a little bit. We're going to go halfway up on the damage, and let's get back to Florida. I told everybody to destroy the city of Florida, so let's see if it's happening. We're going to make our way there right now. Hey, hold up. Somebody just said you're alone. Die. Oh, hold up. I'm about to have to destroy this mechanical person right behind me. Come here, sir. Meanwhile, I do have some people. You can see the buildings are being leveled in Florida. So we do have some people working in Florida. And for right now, I'm kind of getting jumped. Actually, not really. People are actually letting me fight at the moment. Okay, never mind. We got a Godzilla coming over here. But it does look like we are going to get obliterated. Wait a minute. You look like blind sausage. Why am I just getting disrespected? And Shin died again, bro. That's it. We're doing it. We are on day 90, and we're maxing it out. Maxed out damage and maxed out HP. I just called all the people to Tokyo to see if anybody's going to live. Oh, hold up now. I got my boy Kong. Wait, Kong said I got you, so maybe he's nice now? I don't really know at the moment, but the first thing that I'm going to do is level some buildings over here. Because look at the true raw power of my boy Shin Godzilla. We just destroyed a lot of buildings here. Oh, and look at my boy Kong over here. He's literally leveling every building in sight. So I guess we gotta do it too. I can't tell people to do it and then I not do it. So we're gonna spend these next few days just absolutely obliterating every building in Tokyo. And let's see if we can actually get all the buildings down. With the power of my team, look how many buildings we were able to destroy. It took us a few days here. We're on day 90 at the moment. But we destroyed the city. Look, he said, my city, you will pay, Cappy. No, I will not pay, actually. Let me go ahead and tell my friends to get that guy. Let's see who will actually pay. Hey, hold up, Kong! What happened, big fella? So one thing has to happen. You can see I said traitor, destroy that Kong. Actually, I said destroy. Okay, well, I can't spell. It's all right. They know what I was trying to say. I gotta get back to Tokyo, bro. Shin Godzilla. I know we're on day 90 or 95 right now, whatever we're on. But we are so slow, bro. We have been slow throughout every day of this process. By the way, we're on 95. I just remembered. 95 right now. We gotta survive 5 more days. So what does that mean? I think we gotta obliterate maybe a few more kaijus and cause a little bit more damage. Uh-oh, I see my first few victims right here in front of me. We got Godzilla stacked on top of Godzillas. And here we go. I'm getting jumped already. Let's go ahead and hit the fire breath real quick. So hopefully we can take out like maybe one person. I'm hoping at least. All right, there we go. Shin Godzilla did take out one Godzilla, but we got a giant Manila over here trying to destroy me, but we took him out too. And this other Godzilla. Shin Godzilla just destroyed 3 people on day 95. And actually, I don't think he's done yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still going with my boy Shin. We just dropped down another Godzilla. We're just increasing the days and the strength. Hold up. Jet came in when I had 0 HP. Oh yeah, we'll be back. It's day 99 and it is game time. You can see that Jet Jaguar across the bridge, right? Right when he gets over to me, he's getting taken out. We're day 99 Shin Godzilla. And he said show no mercy. Oh, you are right. I will show absolutely no mercy to this man right here. Let's see who wins. Jet Jaguar or Shin Godzilla, the day 99 version. I'm going Shin Godzilla, and I'm getting jumped actually. But it doesn't matter because if I can hit one more atomic breath, I will defeat this Jaguar. I'm getting jumped, bro! It's a sad day here for day 99 Shin Godzilla. What have we learned, man? We clearly did not make any friends today. And I'm getting beamed again. Who did that? Like I was trying to say. We didn't make any friends, clearly. They all ended up turning on me. I mean, we do look evil, so I don't really blame them. But, like, at the same time, you know, Shin Godzilla was just trying to make friends in his 100-day journey. Hold up, Little Manila said, hey. Look at Shin Godzilla. I said, friends, question mark. He said, Cappy, I have a plan. Please tell me I can at least have one friend before we end this video. Godzilla, you get over here. Day 99 Shin Godzilla is not going out for the rest of this video. We gotta survive to day 100. That's the point of this video. So let's see if it can happen. All I gotta do is take out this Godzilla and then head to Tokyo where we can end off on day number 100. There we go. We took out Godzilla. Oh, hold up. Manila said, let's destroy everyone. Okay, I think I have found my true friend here in the city of Florida. I'm trying to get Big Manila to help me destroy everyone. Let's see what he said. I asked nicely. I'm getting destroyed by a Rodan, bro. What is happening? Oh, Big Manila is actually helping me. He's destroying a Manila right now. You know what? Maybe we try to get away from this Rodan. Wait, I got called a potato head from the Manila that actually was supposed to be my friend. Yep, I don't think I have friends anymore. So you know what? What do you do when you don't have friends? You just run, I guess. I'm getting followed by the entire lobby. Shin Godzilla, he didn't have a very good time today. Oh, wait a minute. There's a Mothra next to us right now. One of the most beautiful, majestic creatures of all time. Please tell me you're my friend. If this is my friend, I will be satisfied with this video. Let's see. I said friends with a smiley face. I even threw a smiley face out there. Let's see what Mothra says. Am I about to steal Godzilla's girl? Not really his girl, you know what I'm saying, though. Oh, she said yes! I mean yes! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have made a friend, the most important friend, by the end of this video. We have made friends with Mothra. And I think that's, you know what? Let's go ahead and sail off into the sunset. Mothra is even trying to swim with me right now. She can't even swim. There you go. Just take off flying, honey, and you can follow me. And we are just going to sail off into the sunset. Well, okay, well, there's an invisible wall right here. But, as you can see, we have ended the video off on day 100. And we made the most important friend of them all, my girl Mothra right here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this video. Let me know if you would like me to do this with any other character. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I love y'all. Goodbye.
Why do people use tide to compare hundreds of travel sites at once? I like to do things myself. I mean, what kind of connection would I have with the salmon if I bought it at the supermarket?
Kayak, circle one and done.
This guy literally won't stop flexing on his viewers about how many skins he has. So it leaves you no choice but I need to get revenge. Chat, you're all poor to me. You lot don't have this locker. Look, it's beautiful. So many skins to choose from. I am going to delete his account in this video, but in order for this to work, I need to somehow sneak into his setup. I need to do this as soon as possible because this is going too far. What skin should I be today, chat? Travis? That's very rare. That's a cool skin. I bet you lot wish you had Travis. He's probably worth like 300k plus V-Bucks. You know, whoever's the poorest in this chat, join my lobby so I can flex on you. Okay, guys, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send him an invite. However, he has no idea, but I actually have even more skins than him. I'm gonna literally embarrass him so badly, it's gonna be amazing. Dandy, little broke YouTuber, let's join his party. Hi, Dan, you jealous of me? You jealous of this Travis Scott? You wish you had it. To be honest,
So, whatever happened to the original King Kong? Let's find out. Movies and monsters. Danger, danger.
Think of Godzilla's toughest enemy. You got it? Well, most of you said one or two things. Either Destroya or Kaiser Ghidorah. If you said Kong, you're weird. Leave. There's good reasons why these two are commonly considered when thinking of the two most powerful Godzilla kaiju. Both of these required an Godzilla to take them down. And they both completely ragdolled their respective Godzilla. Commonly, these two are pinned together in, YouTube Shorts, which of course means a whole lot of cloaking. Cloak, to absolutely and uncontrollably overestimate something. So if you're a Heisei stan, you say Destroya stomps. And if you're a Final Wars fan, you say Kaiser Ghidorah slams. There just really isn't a clear-cut answer. So as someone who doesn't like either of them more than the other, let's find out who would win. Kaiser Ghidorah versus Destroya. Starting off this titanic battle, we have strength. Now both of these guys are interesting because neither of them have arms. Destroya uses his tail while Kaiser Ghidorah uses his neck. Starting with Destroya, and as we see, Destroya casually drags around burning Godzilla in a city by his neck. And we know, thanks to this scan right here, that Godzilla in this film weighs 60,000 metric tons. Now onto Kaiser Ghidorah. Again, like Destroya, Kaiser Ghidorah lifts his respective Godzilla. Now Godzilla Final Wars weighs just a little less at 55,000 metric tons. Now you can make the argument that Kaiser Ghidorah being the strongest Ghidorah ever, meaning he's stronger than Showa Ghidorah, who is stronger than Showa Godzilla, who lifted Zandora, who weighs 91,000 metric tons, would make him stronger. But that statement's kind of iffy, and we're trying to stray away from statements in this video, just pure feats. But overall, I'm gonna have to say it's a tie for strength. Next up is speed, and this is pretty simple. Destroya takes this. Due to the fact that Kaiser Ghidorah can't actually fly, while Destroya, of course, can, this gives Destroya a massive advantage. Next up is durability. Let's go over their feats. Starting with Kaiser Ghidorah, he was able to absolutely tank Godzilla's atomic breath, which was able to destroy Gorath, which held Monster X. Oh, we don't know how durable Gorath is, so it's kind of widely considered a good feat, but we don't exactly know how powerful it is. Now to Destroya, and yeah, he takes this. Now I'll explain why, and it's pretty simple. He took the infinite burning heat ray. which is more powerful than the base Spiral Heat Ray, which was easily able to get through Mechagodzilla's diamond coating and kill Space Godzilla in a few hits. That, along with the fact that the Infinite Heat Ray gets infinitely hotter each time he uses it, this pretty easily gives Destroya the durability category. Next up is IQ. I'm not going to go into it, it's a tie, they both show similar feats in this category. Now into Battle IQ. So this category isn't much of a debate because it goes to Kaiser Ghidorah. And Destroya is very young in this movie. Now, while sure his microorganisms are 2-point-something billion years old, and they make up Destroya, Destroya himself is pretty young, only being a couple weeks old. While Kaiser Ghidorah was stated to be the strongest Ghidorah in his respective universe, meaning most likely in the past he's been in quite a few fights. So that is a little bit of headcanon. But he was able to work with Gigan, showing some critical thinking and teamwork skills, and when he needed to change his fighting style, he quickly changed to Kaiser Ghidorah. So Battle IQ goes to Kaiser. Next up is their beam strength. Now to see who has the stronger beam. Starting with Destroya. As he shows, when he shoots Godzilla with his beam, he makes Godzilla roar, but that's about it. Now onto Kaiser Ghidorah. We see that when Godzilla is hit by these beams, it sent Godzilla sliding across the city. It means it has a lot of force behind it. Now, hold on, Death fans, before you say, well, it's an anti-gravity hack. Just know, by saying that, you would pretty much give Kaiser Ghidorah strength, since that means he can lift almost anything. So who has more punch behind their beam, that category is going to go to Kaiser Ghidorah. Next up is abilities. Starting with the crab himself, Destroya. He has Division and Recombination, Micro-Oxygen Beam, and his Variable Slicer. Now into Kaiser Ghidorah, who has Anti-Gravity Beams and Energy Siphoning. Again, we have another tie. Well, Destroya can use his Slicer against Kaiser Ghidorah, and it would probably do a lot of damage. If Destroya is that close to Kaiser to be able to use his Slicer, Kaiser would also be close enough to bite into Destroya and suck out a lot of energy, weakening them. Now onto Agility. Neither of them, just throw that category out the window. I mean, don't even argue in the comments. They're not agile. And finally, we need a tiebreaker. Their physical weapons. For those who don't know, physical weaponry is pretty much what they have on their body. Now, Destroya is covered head to toe in thick skin. That thick skin is also covered in many spikes, making it hard for anything to bite or cut into him. Now, while he does have a strong jaw and claws, due to how stiff he is, they're practically useless. Though to make up for it, he does have his tail, which can stab into things and is quite prehensile. Now into Kaiser Ghidorah. He is kind of lacking in this department. While he does have 3 strong jaws, that's about it for him. So this category goes to Destroya. So who wins? Finally ending this debate with a score of 6-5. Godzilla's toughest enemy is Destroya. Flying away with major damage dealt to him. Destroya would win this fight with around high difficulty. So yeah, Final Wars and Heisei stands, have your war in the comment section. I'm not even going to bother opening the comment section for like 2 weeks until this video's out. But as always, everybody, keep collecting. Godzilla Guy out. See ya.
They changed the picture. Sorry, they changed the picture. Come look it. Yeah. So there must be new stuff, right? Let's see. 10 adapted block available. Proxies for property. 5 drops available.
Gemstone Godzilla is not Godzilla Jr. For those who are lost, I recently uploaded a video on Legendary Godzilla vs. Gemstone Godzilla. And a lot of people in the comments are saying Gemstone will win since he's a grown-up Jr., which is just a stupid theory. So let's go over the 3 main points and debunk them all. Example 1, the same shot. Now, one big reason people believe that Jr. is Gemstone Godzilla is due to the fact that the first shot in Godzilla vs. Gigan is a nod toward the ending shot of Godzilla vs. Destroya, where Jr. takes in a whole bunch of radiation from Godzilla and becomes large. Well, with that logic, Final Wars Godzilla is also Jr., given he does the exact same thing. Example 2, the same voice actor. You've gotta be joking, right? Okay, sure. They brought back the wonderful Megumi Odaka to do the voiceover, but that doesn't mean they're connected. For example, Takehiro Murata was one of the main leads in G2000, and later shows up in GMK and against Mechagodzilla. Does that mean they're connected? No. And finally, example 3. The line, a quarter of a century has passed since you were gone. Again, that doesn't mean anything. That just means time is passing in verse. Again, look at G2000. They made Millennium Goju take the role of the original Gojira, to then have him reappear later in the verse. And that's why
I tried to quit smoking cigarettes. Probably.
Day 9. One more to go. Hello everybody and welcome to Day 9 of Power Scaling the Spectrum Manual. Now before we get started, we do have a major issue. When I planned this series way in the past, I simply looked at the Spectrum Man wiki assuming they had all the kaiju so I could plan, how many are in each episode, blah blah blah. And well, the wiki sucks. Not only do they, just not have info on a lot of the kaiju, they forgot 18 kaiju. That's almost as many as they already have. How do you miss 18 kaiju? So today, like always, I'll be scaling 3 kaiju like normal. And tomorrow will be the Spectrum Man video. But at some point in the near future, I will have like a 9.5 where I scale the remaining 15 in one video. So with all that aside, let's hop in. Today, we'll be scaling Sphinx, Mechanodon, and Magmasaurus. Let's dive in. Starting with the Sphinx. Now, the Sphinx is an odd kaiju because it's a 3-in-1. We have, like I already said, the Sphinx. We also have the Sphinx Beast, and holy shit, what is that? I take back everything I said about Magnitudon. This is the ugliest kaiju I've ever seen. And finally, the Sphinx Spider. Now, their many abilities include burrowing. The Sphinx can burrow. Flight. The Sphinx can also fly. Flotation. The Sphinx can, once again, also float and swim. Transformation. The Sphinx can, transform into these other two at will. Explosion. The Sphinx Beast can activate an explosion on himself. Charged webs. The Sphinx Spider can make supercharged webs. Mummy production and resurrection. We see the Sphinx is able to command and resurrect mummies to attack humans. Also detachable limbs. This is where the Sphinx Spider throws his limbs at Spectrum Man, now onto his feet. The Sphinx destroyed a city. The Sphinx Beast threw hands at Spectrum Man, and at the end of episode 1, the Sphinx Beast exploded with such force that in the next episode, Spectrum Man said how all his circuits were almost fried. The Sphinx Spider can produce webs that are so strong and dangerous that when a tank ran into them, they exploded with so much force they destroyed part of a mountain. Finally, the Sphinx Spider was able to best Spectrum Man and surprise attack him with his webs, and then also web him up. But the Sphinx Spider does die from one Spectre Flash, so while all the Sphinx forms scale into around 40 to low multi, all their durabilities are not the greatest. Now on to statements. The normal Sphinx is 50 meters in length and weighs 80,000 tons, while the Sphinx Beast is 42 meters tall and 40,000 tons. And finally, the Sphinx Spider is 45 meters tall and 50,000 tons. And finally, there are a couple statements that say the Sphinx Spider is Spectrum Man's greatest enemy. And normally that would mean he'd, upscale all the previous kaiju, but he just doesn't really have the feats to back it up. So while he's strong, I wouldn't put him above Mitsuwadodon. So he's around 40 to low multi. Next up is the giant frog, Metanodon. His abilities include speech, amphibiousness, fire breath, and gas emission, which kind of acts like a smokescreen. And now his feats. He was able to casually destroy a town, and he was able to take on Spectrum Man in hand-to-hand combat. And that's it. He literally has no statements. And finally, Magmasaurus. His abilities include volcanic bombs. Just, giant magma ball things, kind of like Titanosaur Dan. And he's just a reused Zeron outfit, and really doesn't have many feats. I mean, he does fight Spectrum Man, which would, get him into 4D, but that's really it. And there's episode 9. I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow for the final part where we finally scale Spectrum Man. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Think right open. 11. Hey, I'm gun. Here we go.
Ay, qué bait. Ni te debe to me on that one.
The ramp is too damn high.
The ramp is too damn high.
The ramp is too damn high. The ramp.
Too early.
Godzilla has faced many difficult foes in the past 70 years now. Commonly, his biggest enemy is King Ghidorah or Mechagodzilla. But there are two kaiju that are very overlooked. These two both push Godzilla past his limit, making Godzilla have to amp himself mid-battle. These being Monster Rex and Gigan Rex. Both of these kaiju gave Godzilla a run for his money as king, and they have some of the most unique fighting styles of any kaiju. But what would happen if you put these two in a ring? Who would be victorious, and who would leave defeated? Hello everybody, I'm your host Godzilla Guy, and today we'll be answering that question. Without further ado, let's see who would win. Now before we get started, let me address some rules. Firstly, Gigan Rex cannot go into Super Saiyan form or call upon his Gigan Miles for help. Same deal with Monster Rex. He cannot call for Final Wars Gigan or go into his Kaiser Ghidorah form. And we will not be saying Gemstone Godzilla is Godzilla Jr., so we can't use anything from the Heisei era for reference. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Monster X versus Gigan Rex. Strength. First up, we have strength. Let's dive in. Monster X. Monster X is incredibly strong. Let's go over his feats of strength. Firstly, of course, is that he was able to lift Godzilla. For those who don't know, Final Goatee weighs 55,000 metric tons, even outperforming Godzilla when locked in wrestling. And though I know this sounds weird, he has very strong legs. Yeah. Let me try to explain. Monster X was able to take a blast to the face point blank from Final Wars Godzilla, which is a feat we'll come back to for durability. But later, Monster X moves Godzilla's mouth out of the way, and Godzilla proceeds to shoot the same beam at the Exilian mothership. And it shows the mothership getting pushed back. Now, we don't have an official weight for the mothership, but given that it's 1,000 by 1,000 meters in size, it most likely weighs around 1,000,000 metric tons. So Monster X being able to take a beam that strong to the face without moving much is a really great feat. Gigan Rex. So there is a slight issue with Gigan Rex, which is the fact that he doesn't have hands. Now, while yes, I can already hear the comments, well, he can stab things, that still just wouldn't work too well. And we've never really seen Gigan Rex try to lift anything. So who wins strength? Well, due to the fact that one of them literally has no feat of strength, the winner overall of strength is Monster X. Next up is speed. Time to see who's faster on the battlefield. Monster X. Now, what I'm about to say might come as a little bit of a shock to you guys, but Monster X can't fly. However, he can levitate, but only for a short amount of time. While his running speed is on par with Final Wars Godzilla, he was theorized to be able to move at around 90 miles an hour. Gigan Rex. In order to get Gigan Rex's true speed, we first need to look at the Gigan Miles, who were easily able to keep up and pass an F-22 fighter jet, which for those who don't know, an F-22 can fly at a top speed of Mach 2, which is 1,534 miles per hour, meaning the Gigan Miles should at least be able to hit around 2,000 miles an hour. And just to add on, Gigan Rex is superior to the Gigan Miles in every single way, meaning he should be able to go even faster than the fastest Gigan Miles. Well, we also saw this coming. Without a doubt, the winner for speed is Gigan Rex. IQ. Next we have the mind, who is smarter and more resourceful on the battlefield. Monster X. Monster X is one of the most skilled kaiju out there, showing quick analysis and problem-solving skills. He was able to humble Godzilla in hand-to-hand combat, knowing how he would attack, and being able to work with Gigan to subdue Godzilla. And once he saw it necessary, he quickly morphed into his more powerful form, Gigan Rex. Gigan Rex is just as quick, showing critical thinking skills, and using his unique abilities to give him an advantage on the battlefield. He was able to fight up close and from afar. And just like Monster X, he was able to call upon other forces to help him in battle, those being the Gigan Miles. When it comes to IQ in the battlefield, the winner for this category is a tie. They both have shown great instincts and tactics on the battlefield, so it's just too close to say one of them has an edge over the other. Battle IQ. We now know who is smarter, but who has more fighting experience? Monster X. Monster X, though only appearing in one film, has some good fighting background. First, he was able to keep up and block attacks from Final Wars Godzilla, who for reference is very skilled in martial arts and boxing. He was also able to work well with Gigan to overpower Godzilla, showing that he thinks out and plans all of his attacks. Gigan Rex. Gigan Rex has only fought Godzilla, so there isn't much to look at. Though, like I already said, he is able to work with his Gigan Miles pretty well. Outcome. The winner for Battle IQ is pretty easily Monster X, just due to the fact that he has fought more, and can work in a better team. He takes this category. Durability. Monster X, easily. Now I know, before you put in the comments, well, Gigan took a beam and didn't move at all, like Monster X who got pushed back. Well, yes, I know where you're coming from, there are two issues. Firstly, Monster X took it to the face, unlike Gigan, and he took it point blank, unlike Gemstone Godzilla, who was very far away from Gigan at the time. Secondly, it seems to be more of Gigan's ability rather than durability, given that it seems he more absorbed it rather than fully blocked it. This can be backed up with the fact that the beam seemingly stops at his claws, rather than dissipating. Outcome. Monster X easily takes durability, not even close. Hand-to-hand combat. Now time for a category I don't usually go over, but I thought it'd be interesting to add this in for the fight. Hand-to-hand combat. Who can keep up with and deal more attacks? Monster X may just be one of the best hand-to-hand combatants of all time, being up there with the likes of Showa Godzilla, Spectre-Man, and Ultraman. He shows that he knows how to properly throw punches, how to block, and how to stop his enemies from attacking. He's very quick with his attacks, being able to pull off a wombo combo like it's a Mortal Kombat fight. Gigan Rex. Gigan Rex is also pretty good in hit.
I know I've got a comeback in me, and I'm going to make it count. Because I'm worth the investment it takes to earn a degree that I'm proud of. I'm worth the work it takes to get...
Just run through the hole.
Claw-to-claw combat. Being able to use his slicers to hold down and damage his enemies. Though, that's about it. Outcome. The winner for hand-to-hand combat with relative ease is Monster X. Long range. Next, who can fight better from afar? Monster X wins close up, but can he hold his ground long range? Monster X. Monster X really only has one long range ability, that being his beam, which is somewhat strong, being able to attack as one beam or break apart into 3 projectiles. Though his beam isn't too strong, only being able to bring Godzilla to his knees. Gigan Rex. Gigan Rex is much better off in this category, having his claws and his chest beam, and possibly a second beam. Given that the Gigan Miles had a beam that could come out of their head, it's reasonable to assume that Gigan Rex does as well. Outcome. When it comes to who can do better from afar, Gigan Rex takes this category with relative ease. Beam. Next up is their beams. And like how Monster X won durability, Gigan Rex wins beams, with literally no issue. While Monster X's beam can only bring Final Goaty to his knees, Gigan Rex literally sent Godzilla flying backwards. Now we don't know the weight of Gemstone Godzilla, but given that he's 120 meters tall, which is even taller than Monster vs. Godzilla, most likely weighs more than Monster vs. Godzilla, meaning he's likely over 100,000 metric tons. And again, he most likely has a secondary beam in his head. Outcome. So the winner with beam with no difficulty is Gigan Rex. Stamina. Next, it's time to figure out who can go longer. This is very difficult to figure out, since they both transformed mid-fight to get stronger. So we'll just say it's a tie for this category. Physical weaponry. Next, it's their physical weapons, or in simple terms, their bodies. First up is Monster X. Monster X is covered in an intricate bone-like armor, starting at his head, having 2 horns, one large and one small. Also, the back of his head, it almost acts like a knife, having a long, sharp protrusion sticking out of it. He also has a strong jaw, having an almost solid row of teeth, acting like a clamp. Next up is his elbow razors. Just like his head, he has sharp blades sticking out of his elbows. He also has very sharp claws, being able to rip into the flesh of his enemies. And of course his tail, which we'll cover in a little bit. Gigan Rex. Gigan Rex, just like Monster X, has a whole bunch of physical weapons. Just like Monster X, he has a horn, but not just one, covering his entire back, eventually turning into giant spikes that help him steer when he flies. He also has his pincers and beak, which can be used to bite and tear up flesh. Next, of course, is his claws. No way did you think I was going to forget about his claws. These claws can be used to completely slice through his enemies and destroy the area around him. He also has some spikes on his feet, so if he were to ever kick his opponent, he can stab deep into their body. Outcome. The winner for physical weapons is very close, but I'm going to have to give the edge to Gigan Rex. Though Monster X has more, they just aren't as useful as Gigans are. And they would only be used for very, very specific situations. Tail. Next up, who has a more useful and powerful tail? Monster X. Monster X has a very long tail, around as long as he is tall. The tail is skinny and splits into 2 smaller tails at the end, which can act like a whip, and may even be prehensile, being able to wrap around his enemies. Gigan Rex. Gigan Rex has a very beefy tail, being very strong and can easily knock over his opponents. His tail boasts a giant spike at the end, which can be used to stab into his enemies, but can also be used to catch himself when he falls. Outcome. When it comes to each kaiju's tail, Gigan Rex takes this category, being able to slam and stab into Monster X. Abilities. We're almost done. Who has more abilities? Monster X. Gravity beams. Monster X gravity beams were somewhat effective against Godzilla, but like we said, they aren't too strong. And levitation. He can levitate, but only for a short amount of time. Gigan Rex. Rex blades. These are of course Gigan's long knives that can split into a chainsaw. Chest beam. As we've already gone over, he has a chest beam. Tail spike. Again, like we said, he has a spike on the end of his tail. Telepathy. He can call for the Gigan Miles whenever he needs them, though he won't be for this fight. Flight. He can fly. Outcome. The winner for abilities is easily Gigan Rex. And finally, we have agility. Monster X. Easily, it's easily Monster X. With all this data added up, who wins? This score is the closest that they've ever been in any of my versus battle videos, coming in at a score of 8-7, winning out by literally 1 point. With unimaginable difficulty, your winner is Gigan Rex. The main thing that will help him in this fight is his flight and his beam, being able to get around and injure Monster X until he just can't fight any longer. To be honest, Monster X could win too, but I see Gigan Rex winning more than Monster X would. I hope you all enjoyed, and please consider subscribing. As always, keep collecting, because the guy out. See ya.
I wonder how I can get inside there. What? Are you ready? I'm just gonna get a bomb. They were gone. No one, a newborn.
On the ball, now! 19, Tiger! Let's go now! Ready?
Other one.
On the ball! Cowboy 80! Ready?
Don't hear from you for years. Now you're mixed up in God knows what.
Don't bring a war here.
Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla introduced the fearsome King Caesar, who together with Godzilla took down Mechagodzilla. In Terror of Mechagodzilla, second best Godzilla film by the way, introduced the ancient sea dinosaur Titanosaurus. Though this isn't a huge debate like Monster vs. Godzilla vs. Heisei Godzilla, it's still a debate that's had its round on social media in the past few years, slowly turning into a more and more heated subject. So that's why I made this video today, to give you the proof you need and finally end this debate. Today we answer who would win, the guardian of Okinawa King Caesar versus the amphibious dinosaur, Titanosaurus. First up, what are the categories we'll be covering? We'll be discussing strength, speed, IQ, battle IQ, durability, hand-to-hand combat, abilities, and finally agility. Now for some simple rules. Of course, neither of them can call upon Godzilla for help. We will be saying this fight takes place maybe somewhere in the countryside, and we'll be assuming Titanosaurus is not under mind control, but is simply wanting to fight King Caesar for some reason. Very simple battle for two simple kaiju. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Strength. Starting with King Caesar. Firstly, Caesar was able to slam Mechagodzilla. And for those who don't have every kaiju's weight memorized like myself, Showa Mechagodzilla weighs 40,000 metric tons. Secondly, well, actually that's it. Despite Caesar being marketed so much for the movie, he really doesn't do much. Next is Titano. Firstly, his tail. It has some very strong muscles, being able to produce winds up to 300 meters a second, which was enough to push Godzilla to the ground and make him start rolling all over the place. Secondly, and more impressively, his jaw. Being able to lift and throw Godzilla with nothing but his jaw strength. Which, for some info, this Godzilla weighs 20,000 metric tons. And to add on some more, Titanosaurus kicked Godzilla so hard that he not just sent him flying in the air, but when Godzilla landed, he created a crater in the ground. So with our little bit of information, who wins strength? Well, pretty easily the winner for strength is Titanosaurus. Speed. Next up we have speed. And just an FYI, we will be using land speed, since it's unfair to put Caesar in the water up against an aquatic kaiju. First up is Caesar, and, well... yeah, there's really nothing here. What I can find, he can jump 1,000 meters into the air, which is impressive, but we don't have any statements for his running speed. And when I say there isn't much, I mean it. I literally couldn't find anything. Now, of course, on to Titanosaurus. Oh, for crying out loud. Again, we have practically nothing. So who wins speed? Well, given that neither of them have a confirmed speed, we'll have to go out on a limb. And I'm going to say King Caesar takes this category. Reason being the way his legs are built. Titanos are very stiff, being designed for swimming rather than running, while Caesar is much like a human, having long, flexible legs. So speed goes to King Caesar. Next up is IQ. We're going to go ahead and just throw battle IQ in as well, as I'm going to have to give both of these points to Caesar. This due to the fact that Titano won't be under mind control. This will be his first time fighting another kaiju, so he doesn't have the skills and experience like King Caesar does. Next up is durability. Who can take more attacks in the arena? And give me some time to explain, but it's easily Titano. Given that in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, King Caesar was roaring in pain from Mechagodzilla's missiles, while Titanosaurus took hits from a much stronger version of Godzilla who took even stronger missiles with minor damage. Alone is enough proof for Titano being more durable. The winner for durability, as I've said, is Titanosaurus. Next up is hand-to-hand combat. And I'll say it now, this is insanely close. Let's start with King Caesar. First up, how does he fight? King Caesar fights mostly by ramming into his enemies. using his weight to slam and knock over his foes. And he also has very quick hands. He's able to land punches effectively and land many different types of blows. And now, of course, Titano. Which I just want to say,
put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
Titano's one of the few kaiju to go toe-to-toe with Godzilla and come out unscathed. He was able to keep up and land blows on Godzilla, in my favorite kaiju fight of all time. He was able to quickly use his wide range of abilities to help him. Granted, that was all thanks to mind control, but I imagine if Titano went to a fight like this, he would know his own limitations and abilities and how to use them. So who wins hand-to-hand combat? This one is super close. I was thinking about saying it's a tie, but I'm going to have to give the edge to Titanosaurus. Just the fact that Titano went tooth and nail with Godzilla, he takes this category. Next up are their abilities. Starting with Caesar, Prism Eyes. This allows Caesar to reflect beams back at his enemies, though this won't be useful given Titano doesn't have a beam. And, he can jump? That's it. Next up is Titano. First, as we've mentioned, he has Tailwinds, being able to knock over Godzilla, meaning he should also be able to knock over King Caesar. Jumping, just like Caesar, he can jump very, very high. And finally, Amphibianosis, which won't be helpful in this fight. So who wins abilities? Titanosaurus takes this category. Oh, there isn't much in the first place. And finally, Agility. And I'm just going to put this outright, this is a perfect tie. They're both incredibly agile on the battlefield. Neither of them have a noticeable edge over the other. So for Agility, it's a tie. So with all the points added up, we have a score of 5-4. And well, even though one of them has more points than the other, I can't decide who wins. There are strong arguments for both of them. For example, Titano could win thanks to his insane strength and durability, only needing to land a few blows. However, King Caesar could win due to the fact that he actually knows how to fight, unlike Titano. So while Caesar is weaker, the fact that he knows how to fight will help him a lot. Now, if Titano was under mind control, he would slam with no difficulty. But since we're saying he's free of any mind control in this fight, we just don't know how well he would do. So for the first time ever in my versus battle videos, we have our first tie. I know I said we'd have a winner, but I legitimately can't choose one. So go ahead and have a war in the comment section below, and tell me who you think would win and why. And wait, before you go, I have some news. The uploads will be slowing down until Christmas, since I have to work on the 10 days of Christmas videos. Though I will be streaming quite a bit, and I'll have maybe random videos here and there, but don't expect weekly videos until around after Christmas. Make sure to join the Discord server linked down below, and until next time everybody, keep
I didn't have health insurance. Not because I didn't want it. I worried it was too expensive, and I was having a hard time paying further bills. But now, for the first time in our lives, I can do both. Covered California makes health insurance easier in every way, with financial help for millions of us and free assistance to compare your options. Covered California. This way to health insurance. Enrollment ends January 31st. Go to coveredca.com.
As a pharmacist, I have looked at so many products that claim to have anti-aging effects, but here are my top 5 recommendations for anti-aging skincare ingredients. First up is tretinoin. It is the most well-studied agent to help with anti-aging, and it can really help with fine lines, wrinkles, and...
Hello everyone, and welcome to part 3 of this series. In today's video, we'll be going over the 2 bastards of evolution. In one corner, we have the bleeding abomination, Shin Godzilla. In the other corner, we have the interdimensional beast, Godzilla Ultima. Without further ado, let's get into it. Firstly, a few things to mention. We will be specifically looking at Godzilla Ultima and Phase 4 Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla will not be evolving. And even if he did, it wouldn't be much of a help. Same with Godzilla Ultima. We will just be using their final forms we see on screen. Strength and speed. Both Godzillas have quite a bit... wait, no they don't. Shin Godzilla. Strength. For strength, there's very little to show for. I mean, sure, there is his tail, which could be used for a good example.